Okay, so we're going to take a look at first-hand accounts and second-hand accounts. So there are two types of accounts, and they are first-hand and second-hand. The first type is a first-hand account, and a first-hand account is from the original source. So a first-hand account is from a time period. So like we're reading about the 1700s. So if we found a article or something that was written by George Washington, if he wrote a letter or something, this would be a first-hand account. So let's say George Washington letter that he wrote. Another one is the Declaration of Independence, the original Declaration of Independence. That's a first-hand account because it's from that time. It's a direct source. It's an original source. And then we're going to take a look this week, or actually next week, of the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And Paul Revere was a man who warned the 13 colonies that the British were coming to fight them. So there's a poem that's written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and so this was written during that time. So that's a first-hand account. Now, and then there's the second-hand accounts, and second-hand accounts are not from the original source; they are indirect. So an example of a second-hand account is an article that summarizes the Declaration of Independence. Or let's say if you read George Washington's letter and then you write a letter back to him. We know he can't really get that letter because he's dead, obviously. But that would be a second-hand account because you are writing a letter in response to his. Another one would be if you find a newspaper article that was written, let's say that a person in 2021, they read the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, and they say, oh, I'm going to do a newspaper article over the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. That's a second-hand account because it was not written when the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere was written. So those are the differences between those. So now let's go back and let's look at these quotes. This first one says, there are no sons of liberty, these are sons of violence. So this, we're going to go back and we're going to look at page 19, because this is where this is. Here it is. There are no sons of liberty. These are sons of violence. This is what he is saying. So if he's saying this at that particular time, that is a first-hand account. Okay? I am more and more grieved at the accounts of America. It is undoubtedly serious. It is an undoubtedly serious matter that ever became before Parliament. So this one, we can find it also on page 19. And here King George is saying that. So this is also a first-hand account. Page 20, I dare tax America, I will. So let's see who says that on page 20. I dare tax America, I will. This is from Charles Townshend. So he's saying that. So it is a first-hand account. So you're going to go back and you're going to find whether these are first-hand accounts or second-hand accounts. And I'll give you a little hint. They are in the speech bubbles of your text pages from pages 19 through 22.